Hi, welcome to Hit the Bricks. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. I've got this Lego Technic set here, 42046. This is actually a used set that I bought on eBay, probably about a year or so ago. Got it super cheap, couldn't pass it up for the parts per piece cost-wise there. It just made no sense not to buy it. It says 170 pieces. I figure if nothing else, I could use a bunch of the pieces for later builds or what have you. Otherwise, it's one of these pullbacks, so that's kind of fun. Definitely been used a little bit. Got a little bit of dirt on the tires there. But anyways, I was on Rebrickable, like I am often, and found a alternative build for this, which I'll put the information up here and also down below if you want to get the link for the build. It is 74-Z Speeder. So it's a Star Wars Technic set. The designer is nurb, N-U-R-B. Like I said, I'll put a link down below. It's a free download to build it. The alternative build has 161 pieces, so we should have 9 pieces left over. What intrigued me about it is looking at the comments. There was, I think, like 17 comments or something. People really liked it. There was some people having some hard times building, maybe seeing some of the things, how it goes on, or being some tight fits or whatever was some of the comments on there. So I thought, well, maybe I'll make a video of it, because I thought I kind of wanted to build it anyways, just being kind of neat using something like this to build and then a Star Wars build out of it. I thought that was intriguing to myself. I haven't built anything Star Wars in a while, so why not? The other thing is it uses the Lego Digital Designer, which, if you're not familiar with that, I don't think it's supported anymore by Lego, but it's exactly what it sounds like. It's an online digital designer, and this format that this 74Z uses is a download for that program. So you have to have that program to be able to look at the instructions and build it. Something that I really haven't done at all. I didn't have it. It's a free download, even though it's not supported anymore. You can still download it from Lego. So that's what I did. So I just downloaded that. I haven't really used that program at all, so I might stumble a little bit through this, but I thought I'd just build this for a video. I'm going to obviously have to take this apart, and then we'll build the speeder, and we'll see what that looks like. I'm curious to see what this looks like for an alternative build. This is neat and all, but I think a Star Wars version of it would be kind of cool. So let's go ahead and start building this and see what we end up with. Okay, so here we have the finished 74Z speeder bike. Now, I had intended to show the dismantling of the 42046 Getaway Racer and the building of this in this video. Unfortunately, I had some technical difficulties with my camera, so I don't have that footage, but I do have this to show you, and I'm pretty happy with the outcome of this. But I will speak a little bit to the frustration that I think some people were having with building it using that Lego Digital Designer program. Not familiar with the Digital Designer, like I said, so that probably didn't help the building process for me. I would say one of the largest kind of frustration or issues that I had with it was this area right here was all shown in these orange bricks. So it wasn't this pullback unit, this motor from the Getaway Racer. It was just a series of Technic bricks that fill in this area here. And I didn't really understand what was going on, not being familiar with the Digital Designer, not knowing why that was looking like that. I did go back to Rebrickable after a little bit of frustration and looked at the one picture that's on there by the designer, and it clearly shows this. So that helped a little bit to understand this is supposed to be there. But then I just had to figure out how to put this in there and get things lined up. I think I got it pretty close to what it was, but I'm not sure if it's 100%. I had some issues with fitting some things in, and it was just a matter of not being able to completely follow the directions because of this being a substitute to what they have in the Lego Designer program, as far as what pieces that would go there. But anyways, I figured it out for the most part. But I actually like how this looks, how this pullback motor looks, because this is your thruster motor for the speeder bike. So this gives it the thrust to get the elevation for the bike, which is then controlled by these foot pads. So the pilot or the rider would control it, would maneuver these, that would change these flaps, these thruster flaps, and that brings the bike up and down. So this is a motor that provides that thrust, and it's a big unit like that's in a speeder bike, so I think it looks just fine. So we've got some details. We've got what would be the thruster motor, we've got the controls here, the foot controls, we've got these thruster flaps. So that's all represented on this. I think there's a lot of details, or at least the representation of what the speeder bike would have using such a small amount of parts. I mean, we're only talking 161 parts out of the 170 available. I do have more advanced version of this pictures from the designer. Sent me the more advanced version of this that he made. I'll share those at the end of the video. It looks great. There's a lot of detail. It really looks like the speeder bike. So I'm excited to show that with you in just a little while. I'll show that, but just being the bare bones, like a place to start if you only got this set here to work with, the 42046, or you just have limited parts. It's pretty cool. It's pretty big. It's a nice looking Star Wars speeder, but I will show you the more advanced part of it, and I think you'll be kind of wowed by that as well, because we add a lot more detail. But we do have those details in the back. We also have this AX-20 blaster cannon here, right there, and then we've got these pieces up here. This would be like your directional control for the steering, controlled by the levers here that the pilot or the rider would be controlling. There'd probably be some sensors, probably be here. That's probably more so represented on the detail model. And then we would have like the information center for the pilot or the rider would be right here. So I think we got the basics covered on this. Like I said, it's not a small speeder bike at all. I tried to build it the closest I could according to the directions provided. So if you're into Star Wars and you want a speeder bike and you got some limited parts, I think it's a good build. Like I said, it's free. You do have to use, if you want to follow the directions, you have to use the Digital Designer program, which is not supported, like I said, by Lego anymore, but it's a free download, so everything's free to build this. The designer did put some more pictures out there for somebody who was having some problems building it, so that's on Rebrickable as well, as far as seeing how things connect on the Lego Digital Designer. That was one of the questions, like, because they kind of float in the designer program. You don't necessarily see like everything. Some of the things you see coming together, and some of them was just kind of floating there, especially towards the end of the model. It's a little hard to see where things go. So he did address that. And like I said, he did send me these more advanced pictures that put a lot more detail into the speeder bike, which I thought was really interesting. Like I said, if you're really into this, if you're into the Star Wars, I think it'd be worth your time and effort to make that one. So we're kind of end with that. I think this is definitely worth it, obviously being free. So I'll put the link, like I said, down below. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit the like button. If you have not subscribed or hit the bell notification yet, I would invite you to do so now. We have more of these mock reviews coming up, along with my own MOCS and my own remocks. Updates for the city that I'm working on, and some more giveaways. We just gave away a few minifigures. We have more of those coming up. And that's going to do it for today. We'll show those pictures of the advanced one for you. I'm going to go hit the bricks in the city, actually. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.